confident and bold. She ready, never gonna back down. She ready, ooh, yeah, she wearing that crown. She ready, ooh, she ready. She walking and talking, no faking, creating.
Hello, my loves. It's Tori, the hope dealer of guided intuition, and I'm here, love muffin baby love, with a dear to my heart message from the divine to you. So to any of the beautiful souls that clicked on this video, I want to let you know I'm so proud of you, okay? Because even, when Spirit gave me the title, I was like, Spirit, this is not the time right now, because currently when I am recording this, we are in the energy of this full moon in Libra, okay? And one of the things that Spirit gave me with this energy that we're going to be experiencing throughout the rest of this week and the weeks to come is profound healing. And profound is not your regular healing, but profound, the kind of healing that takes place that allows miracles. I want to say once in a lifetime things to happen, to occur. Oneness, alignment, unconditional love to permeate all factors. Okay. So when Spirit was like, name this reading, the healing session you've been avoiding, let's get through it together, I was like, no, Spirit. But then I thought about it. Oh my God, I'm so happy to the beautiful soul that is here. If you took resonate within that title, we're going to be talking about love, okay? But also not just love in a person, because that's the way I'm going to talk about it. But honestly, this is literally the formula to get anything that you love, be it in career, be it in your spiritual practices, in your spiritual belief, be it in a relationship, be it in family. It don't matter, okay? This is something that Spirit placed on my heart that I have even experienced myself. And when I started to apply the things that Spirit, gave me, my intuition, all right, I've noticed that miraculous change happens in my life. And then when I share this with clients, I realize and see that miraculous change, they do too, happens in their life. And I want to be that for somebody. So I want to bear our souls with each other. I want our hearts and our souls to have a conversation. If you hear anything in the background, I do have my window open. I'm actually using natural light. So let me not keep rambling on, because I always get nervous when I have to talk about something very big, and I know how sensitive it is. But I want to let you know, when you acknowledge this thing, when you look at it, when you accept it, when you see it as your truth, when you embody all of you, this is when profound healing will take place and unlock miracles. What I have right here, I want to deal on the topic of love in relationships, where you can apply this to anything in your life. But I feel really guided with this profound healing taking place. There's an opportunity to move past your fears, to open up, to let go of the past, and to really create a new storyline. Come on. Okay, this is what's going on right now. And this is not something that I'm just guessing. There is a beautiful soul, and she said that I'm more than welcome to share her story, that we've been working together. And in 21 days, I have seen this beautiful young lady do an amazing turnaround. And the issue that she wanted to work through, what she wanted to cultivate in her life, was a partner who matched her for match, showed up, and, was there. Like, come on, isn't that what we all desire in a mate? One of the things that she said too, as she was creating and really calling forth this energy in this person, was she didn't want perfection, but more so someone who was honest and was working on their self as she is. And listen, if you desire perfection, or you're perception of perfection, that's totally fine. You have to understand when you are creating, speaking forth the desires of your heart, it's whatever that desire is. So this beautiful soul, we've been working together, and needless to say, guess what, guys? She met a match. She met a person to the point that basically they drive the same car. They have like this hamster car, the little Kia Soul. They have this hamster car. They stay in different apartments. However, their apartments are owned by the same company. It's just all these signs, and you get what I'm saying? Like when you start paying attention to certain things, and they've been hanging out, they've been, getting to know each other, all of this great stuff is happening. And all of a sudden, everything is going good. But you know what usually happens when we have unresolved healing from past relationships? And we're dating, which, listen, that happens to us. It's okay. It's okay. We will get triggered. Okay. That means you'll get reminded of the past, something in the past, something will trigger you, and then send off these, all of these floodgates will open, feeling nervous, not worthy enough, low self-esteem. Oh my God, are they really saying where they at, or are they somewhere else? Why do they like me? Oh my goodness. Like you have all of these things that will come up when you meet a person that is genuinely good for you. Okay. And then we have another scenario where, you haven't, took the time, okay, to process or really release the past, or you release the past, or because the past, there's, and how relationships turned out, there's something off balance when it comes to self-worth, and you having the confidence within yourself, and you can already be married, you can be in a relationship, you can be single, it don't matter. In order to see forward movement, okay, in order to get the desired outcome when it comes to love, this is a vital step that you have to apply to yourself. Whoever is watching this video, keep in mind it's meant for a special group. So so we have it if you're already in a marriage, okay, you're already in a committed relationship, you genuinely want to be with this person. However, you notice that the self-imagery or the self-doubt may come up, or just feeling not good enough, or not really trusting your partner. Okay, you're single, you meet somebody, oh my God, you like them, yes, it's so good, all of a sudden you get triggered, and then you're like, what the fuck? Okay, all right. And then we have it where you deserve better, but you keep scraping at the barrel of the pot, the bottom of the pot, the burnt stuff, you know what I'm saying? The little mashed potatoes got stuck at the end, you keep scraping it, and just accepting that instead of throwing that pot out completely. And when I say the pot, I'm not talking about the person, okay? Because believe it or not, guys, the person in this message today has nothing to do with, okay? They might be the end result, but as far as the mixing, the cake batter, the eggs, the sugar, whatever you put in there, they might be the end result of the cake, but there was vital steps in the process of making the cake that we're going to take a look at today, okay? That is going to give you the result, the kind of cake that you want. Make sure that it's cooked well, that it's chocolate, it's vanilla, it's strawberry, it's, Publix. I don't know. I love Publix cake. How they put that little strawberry. Okay. Anyways, what's going to help you get there. Okay. That's what it is. If you notice that, like, oh my God, why do I keep attracting this type? No matter, it could be a whole different person and they giving you the same energy as the last two, last one, last three. You get what I'm saying? Why do I keep, emotionally unavailable people? The partners, what is going on here? If you have experienced any of these things, this reading is meant to help you, okay, to unlock and help you advance from that stage. So how we're going to do this, okay? First, I'm going to start off with a quote that I feel is very important to this session. And then, my love, I went ahead because I wanted to do together. We'll go ahead and pull like 3 cards for this. But I wanted to like shuffle together, guys. But the cards were like flipping out. And I'm like, okay, Spirit. So I pulled some we're going to pull together. And we're going to pull these together, okay? But how I have these laid out, guys, is so this is going to be you right here. This is the obstacle. And this is how you move through it, okay? So this is you. This is what you need to embody. The obstacle, what you need to overcome. And this is how you move through it, how you overcome the obstacle. Right here are things that you can take note of that's really going to help you, embody this energy, who you are truly at your core. All right. Things to keep in mind when it comes to the obstacle and how to work through it. Now that we have that, I just want to pull additional oracle card. I've really been liking this like setup using these. So we'll put that right there. Okay. Let's see the obstacle. Go ahead and define that obstacle, Spirit. Right there. Whoa, okay. So we got one. You guys kind of seen it, but it's totally fine. Don't worry, I'm just gonna move the camera down, son. Perfect, okay? Perfect. Oh, freaking. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Look at me. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Perfect. Okay, it's perfect. So, my loves, the quote that I want to share with you guys is by Dana. I love her. She's such a beautiful soul. And it says, cutting ties with people who hurt you isn't enough. You must also cut ties with the version of you who allowed that treatment to go on. Now, it's not to judge yourself. You get what I'm saying? And one of the things that I realized with self-love, self-worth, and self-acceptance, and how to truly show up in your love life, to show up in your business, to show up on your spiritual journey, there has to be a deeper understanding and acceptance of all that you are. Every single ounce of you. That's not what I'm talking about here with the cutting ties with the people. Cutting ties with the people who hurt you isn't enough. You must also cut ties with the version of you who allowed that treatment to go on. Basically, let's just say, going back to the cake example, if you bake, you use those ingredients, you mix it a certain way, you didn't shift the flour, you use a different brand, and you bake the cake and you realize you didn't like it, okay? If you continue to, even though you threw that cake away, but you continue to do that cake, make that cake the same way that you did the first one, the second cake is going to be like the first one. And the third cake is going to be like the first 2. And then the fourth cake is going to be like the last 3. Have you ever noticed that in relationships, or, even in your partnership, you're like, okay, well, what are we doing? Where is this going? Or why do I keep getting this kind of type? Why do we keep ending up here? It's because, believe it or not, our partners in relationships are a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. Okay? And I know that can be harsh, and I know, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing about acceptance. It's not judging it, but accepting your truth, whatever that truth is. And y'all know I'm an advocate for that. Standing in your truth, accepting your truth, no matter what that is. And for you to be vulnerable, I want to be vulnerable too and be open. And there was a situation and a time where I was just, even me and all my greatness, was accepting, or even toiling to play with bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that I deserved more. So let's have a say that there is a person that you are liking, but they are ghosting you, or they are not communicating with you. They are, not giving you emotions. One of the things, and you're like, well, Tori, how is that? How is that a reflection of me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing to cause that? One of the things about self-love is knowing when to give and knowing when to, to hold back. And if anybody, is treating you like that, it's not to say that this person isn't meant for you, but at this moment in time, this is your place. I feel like I need to explain this to somebody. This is your time to step up to the plate and say, you know what, right now, we're not going to do this. I'm going to remove myself from a situation. Okay. And I bet you, have you ever done that? And as soon as you do that, the person will hit you up and you be like, what the hell? It's because in that moment, you decided to treat yourself worthy. You decided to realize that, this is not what we doing. You cared about yourself. Okay. We have certain situations are easier like that. And then some people, you just generally have to leave them alone. That's just, where it is. Okay. So again, when it's not just about cutting ties with the person who hurt you. Okay. You must also cut ties with the version of you who allowed that treatment to go on. Meaning, going back to the cake, maybe you were not using self-rising, flour. Maybe, you realize you don't want white, you want, unbleached. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you realize that you need to shift that powder. So there are certain things that you have to do, and this is what it is, okay? That is going to change the way and change the batter of that cake to get you the desired shape, the desired texture, the desired taste that you want. Okay. So right now we are going to cut ties with the behavior, or that version or the things that you were doing that got you what you didn't want. Okay. I hope that I am making sense, okay? So let's go ahead and get to it. So listen, one of the things we have right here is surrender the habit of people pleasing. When I seen this card too, before we even get in this card, one of the things that I read, y'all, this quote was so freaking funny. I want to share it with y'all, like OMG. So I'm going to post it, guys, but it literally said, I was laughing. It says, I'm very sick of pretending to be a cool, laid back girl so people want to date me. I'm insane. I'm literally balls to the walls insane, and that is okay. Pussy is immaculate. Head game is otherworldly. I will treat you right, and I will also cry every day. High risk, high reward. Like I tweeted that to my friends, and I was like freaking laughing. Okay. And, it's so crazy. As you can see, this person was like, thinking of this queen, what I'm saying? Like trying to find her. And one of the things why that, meme, I love a person who stands in their truth. And one of the things that when it comes to relationships that I realized long ago is that there is a sense of, even with people pleasing, how sometimes we will morph into certain people, we will morph into a certain kind, we will like morph and change our life and compromise who we are on a soul level to be in a relationship or to have a particular person. And when the truth is, if you are willing to be yourself in whatever that is, and that resonance, I took so much resonance in that. Yes, because you know what? I have played that good girl vibe. Like I did that, guys, like majority of my 20s, like every relationship that I was ever in, I used to morph into who they wanted me to be. Like one, if he didn't want me to cuss, I'll never forget, like my first love, he didn't want me to cuss. And I used to cuss like a sailor. I stopped cussing when I was around him, and my friends used to be like, bitch, now you know. And I'd be like, stop. Knowing damn well That's me. I cuss. That's just who I am. Like, okay, like that's who I am. Or before I used to love makeup, but one of the guys that I was dating, he was like he didn't like makeup. And we were only in the friend stage, and I was actually considering not wearing makeup because of him. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And just morphing yourself, because it might not be extreme like this, but guys, when I tell y'all this, if Tori don't feel y'all like nobody, Tori does. Because when I tell you, back in the days when self-love, self-worth, and self-acceptance was non-existence, honey, I was like a Power Ranger, morphing and changing it at a dime, okay? For this person to like me, for this person to accept me, for this person to, want to be with me. And the thing about that is it's really not who you are. It's really not. You have to develop this out of people pleasing, be it in your childhood or some form, some way, it was shown that, quote unquote, which was a lie, that what you had was not enough. So you adapted other things, sacrificed what you really want in your heart, what it is that you really want when it comes to relationship, okay? What it is that you want, you know what I'm saying? And for instance, let's take it. You want a committed relationship, but this person clearly is giving you, hot, cold vibes, nothing real serious. You get what I'm saying? Saying they probably, for some, they're saying it's serious, but they're really not. They're not giving it to you. And before you know it, you knew that you wanted to commit a relationship. And then here's the person that's, willing to give you the attention, but they're not willing to give you a committed relationship. Have you ever noticed that slowly but surely that starts to dwindle and you start to morph and just accept them for what they are, even if you feel like you can change a person later? You get what I'm saying? And those behaviors and those patterns, it has to, you have to surrender that. You have to let that go. That's one ingredient that we cannot bring into this cake. What I need for you to do, okay, is to speak your needs and be true to yourself. Okay? That's what you have to do. Focus on your own happiness. What makes you get what I'm saying, happy in a relationship, instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. This has to go. And let's just take it out of a relationship. Even when it comes to career, even when it comes to your spiritual belief, you can't just be out here doing certain things, because quote unquote, that's what is expected or that's what it is. I counsel a ton of beautiful souls. And one of the things that I even realized, even with your spiritual beliefs, you have to come to a place that you are going to honor how it is that you want to experience the divine. Okay? And I feel like what's going on in the world currently and with being quarantined is really having us go within and face things. I would never forget this beautiful love my friend Christian wrote. He said, I had to, Tori, like with this time of being in a house, like I had to really like look at the shit, look at the things that I have been like avoiding, So listen, in a relationship, you need to be yourself. You just like that quote said, honey, be you. And I took so much residence in that, guys, because listen, one of the things is that, me doing the kind of work that I do, being who I am just in general, it's going to take a bold individual, who's very sure of himself, because honey, I ain't morphing. I'm not compromising, and that's just my belief. I don't believe that. And I've seen it in people that I have done it, worked with one-on-one. When they say when you compromise, you get married, or you meet a person that, there's certain things that you have to change and, they have to change for y'all to come together. No, if you would be your authentic self, if you would, focus on your own happiness, live in that moment, in that vibration, you're going to meet a person that is doing the same thing, and there's no compromising. You simply allow each other to be who they are, because that is, where you guys met. And I've seen it. seen it time and time. You get what I'm saying? Experienced it, for myself. Both ways, where I had to compromise who I was in relationship, and then where I was allowed to just be, I allowed myself just to be who I was. Okay? You don't have to compromise. You choose to, that's fine. There's no shame here, but that's not the one way. That does not have to be that way. Okay? But if you want that divine ultimate love that allows you, that is freeing and captivates you at the same time. That was one of the things that I wrote. I want a love that frees me yet captivates me at the same time. Do you know what kind of euphoria that is? Yes. Like she said, high risk, high reward. But that kind of love requires you to meet yourself on a deeper level. That kind of love requires you to not people please and to not hide yourself and not to dim your light. Okay? So that's firstly right there. Okay? We got to surrender the habit of people pleasing. Throw it out of the wind. Let it go. Okay? And also, we have this card right here and it says the ever unfolding rose. And I love this card in her book, I read her book because this is the Work Your Life. Actually I read all her books. But this card right here, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. In her book, okay, she gives, certain things that have happened, just life shattering. Like you would just think like, oh my God, why is this happening? But it's literally happening for you. Why did you meet them? Why did they ghost you? Why did they, act like, why did they leave? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't they see that, like, I was really trying to love them and I was trying to be there? Listen, all that had to happen, it didn't happen to you, it happened for you. So you can realize that you are worthy of so much more, that you deserve so much more. And in the midst of feeling what you don't want, it creates a space and an opportunity to know what you do want. Okay? So this particular card is all about a confirmation. Ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when most want to close it, to let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventure. Where you find yourself at in this moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts, to continuously unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing to open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. And I talked about this, guys, in certain relationships and certain things, that like, why did it have to happen? Why did you have to experience this? It's part of a bigger plan. So listen, I know there are certain situations, things that are happening, be it in love, be it in whatever you want to use this healing session for. But what it is that you need to know, these things happen to you, the past, whatever is happening in the past or whatever you're going through now in this moment, it's for a bigger purpose. Okay? Know that it is not happening to you, but for you. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are hailed. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Everything. Okay? So because you're making a decision to look at yourself on a deeper level, to look at the ingredients that you're using in your cake, okay, to get the cake that you desire in life and love and career in your spiritual journey. I know what you're courageous stepping to, taking responsibility, not blaming, not beating yourself up, moving forward, making a decision to pick yourself up, making a decision to try and open up. Listen, I know that it might be scary, but it is well worth it. Okay? So that's what Spirit wants you to keep in mind. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look and just see your current state, your current energy, what the truth that you need to stand on and truly embody when it comes to love, when it comes to your spiritual practices, when it comes to career. Here we go, guys. I'm going to be using this to pick it up because all right. So you and what you need, the power that you need to step into, is the Queen of Wands. And do you see this sunflower? This is all about your solar plex, okay? Your confidence, your personal power. Ooh, I love this card. And I love how this beautiful soul describes this card and the meaning so well, because the Queen of Wands is all about full acceptance, okay? Full acceptance of yourself, of who you are. You have it. You have the wisdom, you have the heart, you have the passion. It's about you stepping into your power. So let's relate this to you. It's time for you to accept yourself. It's time for you to see yourself as deserving. It's time for you to, not wonder, why do they like me? Why, and not even because I feel like, why do they like me? Or why am I special? And also I'm feeling the energy of not feeling like you're special, not feeling like you're worthy to be with the person of this caliber, or you're worthy of love. And what I love about the Queen of Wands is that the Queen of Wands stands in her light, okay? And you better believe she stands in her dark. Duality. That's one of the things that we're as a collective, we are learning to merge and not run from ourselves, because this, she's in her power. She's standing, and as you can see her skin, you get what I'm saying? Like, she embraces every aspect of her. What people may say flawed, she wears it openly and honestly, just like that meme that I read to you that had me hollering, honey. You get what I'm saying? She wears her light. She embraces it. And right here, she embraces her shadow. Okay? The black cat. She wears her flaws openly, and she doesn't view them as flaws. They are a part of her. So there's some way that you are seeing yourself. Okay, keep in mind this is a general reading, so y'all could be looking at yourself very differently, but there's some way that you are looking at yourself, and it's time to come in full acceptance of that. It's time to remove the judgments. It's time to embrace. One of the things that I hated was that, I'm quirky. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm quirky. I take it as a compliment now. But there was one point in time that I'm just this loving individual. I couldn't stand it. And when I, hid that, and instead of accepting that, any relationship, that I got into, it didn't work. because I'm not being my authentic self. There are certain things that you desire when it comes to a partner, when it comes to a mate, and it begins with you and knowing that you are worthy of that. Okay. One of the ways that you can do that is really working with your solar plex and your sacral chakra, but affirmations. And there's something with an appearance that I feel like somebody needs to come to full acceptance with. Okay. Let's see this other card. Yeah. Don't let your pride get in the way. Okay. So now when we allow pride in, okay, one thing about the Queen of Wands, she's known to be fierce, but there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance of when to act and when not to. And I feel like some things that you're hiding from, or you hold this exterior up because the truth is you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be put. You say you don't want love, or you don't really care, or I'll never do this and I'll never be married and da 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 da. But all of these things comes from the ego. It comes from a place of being hurt. Okay. And one of the things that, I feel like on a collective, we're all working through these things. And again, with the yellow and the orange, it is sticking out to me. So in other words, don't let don't let your past or your pride hold you back because of past experiences. Because the Queen of Wands in this deck, it says the Queen is bursting with life and an affection energy. Basically, listen, you are the gift. Anyone is lucky to get to know you, to experience you. Okay. And it's time that you see yourself like that. It says her confidence and get to itness is powerful. She motivates you to do shit. If you're the queen, life is giving all to you right now. Good luck, ideas, friends, promotion. So channel this bounty into confidence. You know your strengths and weakness and how to utilize all your skills to get what you want. So get it, girl. Okay. And they said, girl, not me. So get it. You just have to see yourself. It's some way that you are going into love, or you are going into situations on not really realizing that you the shit. Okay. And it keeps attracting you not the shit kind of situation. So if you go in there making that cake with confidence, what you using, you know what you want. You hear me? You feel me? You know what you want. So put it in the bowl. You know dang well maybe you want to add some buttermilk. Okay? Now we're making biscuits. You don't want just to add water to your biscuits. So don't pick up the water. You want buttermilk. Okay? You want to add a little extra herbs into the mix. You want to add some cheddar, some cheese. Don't be bland if you know you want cheese. Go for the cheese. Act like you are the cheddar cheese biscuit. Okay? I don't know why we're talking about breads and cakes. Maybe because I haven't been able to eat them lately. Okay, I don't know. So this is what you got to do. You got to come out of the pride and the ego. And what people don't know, we have full moon in Leo, okay? Because how I'm reading this, and listen, Leo fire, you got to amp up the fire. You got to know like okay? Bring us some Leo energy, period. And also bring it in a healthy state. Bring in, because listen, I'm going to tell you anything you've seen, a Sagittarius, I'll use myself, that's actively healing. And then a Sagittarius that's not actively healing. Okay. I've had an experience being both of them, and it's totally different. Okay. So it's all about where you're coming from. Okay. Where you're coming from. And I feel like there's a need for you to balance a way of how you see yourself. All right. So what's the obstacle? Let's see. What's the obstacle? So this is what you need to do. You need to embody yourself, walk with confidence. Like okay, this is always, this is up. Let's see what it is. The obstacle, the 9 of Cups coupled with you are good enough. You don't feel that you're good enough. Point blank, period. You don't feel like, because you can't tell Leo shit. You don't feel like you're that. You are good enough. 9 of Cups, you don't feel like you're a wish fulfillment. And until you realize that you're the prize, until you feel like I'm good enough and start to do the things, okay, that make you feel like you're good enough there are so many things, so many seminars right now. I'm just sitting down, so many things on YouTube, so many people with, self-love, self-acceptance, worth, seminars, paid ones, free ones, like honestly, one-on-one coachings. It's so many things that you could be doing. Okay? YouTube, watching things, meditating with you are enough. You don't feel good enough. So until you feel good enough, you're going to get into situations, people, experiences that show you how you feel about yourself. And as I said that, my throat like wanted to close up on me. And that's the truth. And I know that's a scary truth, but that's a truth. That's what I'm seeing right now. Okay? You have to know that you are good enough. And we have the full moon in Virgo. You have to see yourself as the wish fulfillment. You're not, that's the obstacle. You don't see it. You don't believe that you're the prize. You don't believe that you're worthy. Like that person is just, I'm gonna call it how I see it. They should kiss the ground you walk on. They are worthy to be in your presence. You got to know that. And that's not coming from an egotistical vibe. And that's where we confuse it. You know that you're not going to be out here belittling people, using people and doing that. But in a certain extent, you have to, it's called being humble, but there's a such thing as too humble, okay? And I feel like you're too humble for whatever reason of the past, happened in the past. But what Spirit is saying, and you've seen how these came out together, you are good enough. And it's time that you started to act on that. Because you are. So it says you are good enough. It's time to really be honest with yourself and understand what leads you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-annihilating? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You underrate yourself. That's what gotta go. You're not aware of the beautiful soul that you are. You underrate yourself. Okay? And it's time. Sometimes, you worry. You're worrying too much will attract things you worry about. You don't worry about a person that's, you're going to attract these things. This is why it doesn't matter if you move away, if you stop dating for 2 years, but if you don't look at the way that you're looking at yourself and you don't build that inner confidence in yourself, it's not about the person. It's not about the situation, because you're the creator of your reality. You call things into form, period. But you have to know that you're worthy. You are worthy. Okay? And until you start to look at that, start to see that, start to know that you're going to be met with relationships and things that you don't want. Okay? So let's see, how do you get through it? How do you get through it? Ooh, Tower. Allow the Tower to fall and the Tower reverse. Let's see what this card is. Emotions are running high. Supermoon. You have to allow this paradox, this way, these emotions that you're holding on, these beliefs about yourself, you have to allow it to fall, because the Tower is all about a crumbling, but the Tower is reversed. So it says emotions are running high. You have to allow these emotions to pour out of you. Allow these emotions to come up. Cry it out. Write a letter. Burn it. Write how you really feel about yourself. And when I say write how you really feel about yourself, write how you really feel. Don't try to sugarcoat it. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not beautiful enough. I'm tired of feeling like I don't like my body. I don't like the color of my skin. I don't feel like I'm worthy enough. I don't feel like I have enough interest in myself. You get what I'm saying? You got to be brutally honest with you and burn that. And I surrender that to the divine. I surrender that to source. I surrender that to my higher self. I surrender that to my ancestors, my guides, my angels, all of me. I don't feel as though I am good enough. Because you're keeping all those emotions in, and that's why you're attracting people that reflect back to you that you're not good enough, but you are. So we have to release that. So we have to move past that, okay? So we're going to grab this and see and elaborate with the letting these emotions out. Okay. What does that look like when it comes to love? How can they release that, spirit? How can they release that? Soulmate. Ooh, and you know what I feel like? This is first, you be your soulmate. Okay. First, even if you're in a relationship, go back, okay? Go back to creating that space within yourself, okay? Go back. Remember, you're your first person that, the most important relationship you will have is the one with you and you. And dare I even say the one with the divine is, I want to say, believe it or not, guys, is second. And I used to ask spirit, like, what? Because until you can see yourself beautiful, see yourself in light, you cannot fathom how God, how the divine sees you and views and feels about you. You won't believe it. You won't believe it until you start to see how amazing you are. So the first relationship that is of importance is the one that you have with yourself, because that will open up everything, okay? Why? That's going to help you create the boundaries that you need to create when it comes to love. That's going to help you to get the connections that you desire when it comes to love. So go back to you. Put you back. Yeah, ooh, the gardener. Tend to your garden. Even if you're in a relationship, ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Ask yourself that, Love Muffin. What do I want? When it comes to love, when it comes to life, when it comes to my spiritual relationship with the divine, what do I want? Okay? And allow these emotions to come out without judging them, okay? Without beating yourself up when you tell the truth that you don't feel like you're worthy because of your body, or you don't feel like you're the prettiest girl in there. You know, you're the guy, like you don't feel like you have enough. Whatever that is, allow your truth to speak. Give your truth a voice without judging it. Okay? That's what's needed right now in this energy as this profound healing is taking place. Okay? So I love you so freaking much. It was such an honor to be the person to facilitate this session with you. Make you go deeper, please. I love you guys. Be gentle with you. I'm so proud of you. And I will catch you guys on my channel. And also, if you would like this kind of healing session surrounding love, you would like a reading and just steps and things that you can do and us to go deeper and actually get an assessment of your chakras and go through each chakra, you can definitely book a personal session with me, Tori, and we can do it catered just to your energy. Okay, I love you guys so freaking much, and I will catch you later. Take care.